Hi, welcome to Learn English Easily channel. This is Ramya Suresh. I'm back with the most interesting topic, that is parts of speech. Today we are going to learn about parts of speech. Let us learn. So, parts of speech is nothing but here the words are classified according to the work they do in the sentence. That means according to the function they do in a sentence. So, according to the function, the words are classified into different kinds. So, let us learn what are the different kinds of parts of speech. The parts of speech are 18 number: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So let us learn about what is noun. The noun is nothing but, shortly we call it as naming word. Yeah, the noun helps us to represent the name of a person, place, animal, or thing. So here I have given few examples to be clear about noun. Ashoka was a noble king. Delhi is on the river Jamuna, have achieved won her honor. So the underlined words Ashoka, Delhi, Jamuna, virtue, and honor. So these are called nouns. So Ashoka, it represents the particular name of a person, and Delhi, it represents the name of your place. Jamuna, it is the name of your river. Virtue, it is an abstract noun, we can't able to see or touch it. And honor, it too comes, we can't able to see it or touch it, we can only feel it. So it is also a noun. So let us learn what are the kinds of noun. So there are 5 kinds of noun in English grammar. First one is proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. So what is proper noun? Proper noun is nothing but the particular name of a person, place, animal, or thing is called proper noun. And also the proper noun always begins with capital letter in a sentence. So wherever we use the name of a person or thing, so first letter of that noun must be begin with capital letter. So here I have given few examples for proper noun. So here I have given the first picture, the boy's picture. His name is John. Next one is Park. It is called as Kiddie Park. And next one is an animal, puppy. Its name is Silver. So here it is a proper noun. So we are speaking about the specific person who has their own name, John, Kiddie Park, and Silver. I am speaking about that particular person, particular place, and particular animal. It is called proper noun. Common noun. What is common noun? The word common itself indicates that it is going to speak about something in common. So the name which is given in common to every person or thing of same class is called common noun. So here I have given few examples: king, city, girl. So the word king represent that the name king is given to the person who rules a country. The word city, the name city is given to a place where people can live more than lakh. And the word girl is given to a gender. It indicates the whole girl in the world. So tree, for example, tree, it represents all type or all varieties of trees in the world. If it is a dog, it represents all breeds of the dog. So this is called common noun. Collective noun. What is collective noun? It is nothing but the word used to represent a group of people, animals, or things are called collective noun. A board of directors, a flock of sheep, a bundle of sticks. So all those things comes under collective. That means more than 2 or 3 people comes under collective noun. So a crowd. If in a place the 20 to 30% gathered in one place, we call it as a crowd of people. So in second picture, the sheep are arranged in an order. There may be either 10 to 20 sheep. So we call it as a fleet of sheep. If it is sheep, we call as a flock of sheep. Here, the army men gathered in a place. So we call it as an army of soldiers. So and also this is a summer. So in our house, the ants used to crawl all over the walls. So we all used to call ants as an army of ants. So Kalkana is nothing but the name which used to represent a group of people, animal, or thing. Here I have given few examples for collective noun. So for examples for collective noun, which represent people, which represent animals, and also which represent things. So the board of directors, it is nothing but a group of higher officials. That means the corporate officials who is running the company are gathered in one place. They are called as board of directors. A class of students. So in a school there may be 20 to 30 class. Each and every class contains more than 30 to 40 children. So we call them as a class of students. A band of musicians. So while we are watching the reality shows, that means the singing reality shows. So a group of musicians used to give music for the songs. So they call as a band of musicians. A team of players. To play a certain games, we need more than 5 or 6%. For cricket, we need 11%. So we call them as a team of players. They are plural number, but we are just giving a name in singular by representing the all players in that group. A team of players. And for animals, an army of ants. So as when I speaking about an army of soldiers, I said that because of summer, the ants used to crawl all over the walls of our house. So we call that group of ants as an army of ants. Hive of bees. And if we scatter some foods in front, some grains in front of our home or house, suddenly the crow used to gather in front of a house. So we call it as a group of crows are called as a murder of crows. And a group of horses is called a team of horses. And next we are coming to the things. So a group of flowers is called as a bunch of flowers or a bouquet of flowers. Shoes. We used to wear we have two legs, so we used to wear two. So in order to represent those things, we are representing a pair of shoes. For stud, a pair of studs. A pair of bangles. It represents two but singular in meaning. A pack of lice and a range of my group of mountains is called a range of mountains. Usually you all have your friend used to flutter or say lice. So in order to represent that, we used to say that he is saying a pack of lice. And next one is we are going to learn about material noun. So material noun is nothing but a material which helps us to make into a new thing which is useful for us. So it refers to a material or substances from which things are made. By using that material, we can make another new thing. With the help of the brick stone, we can able to build a house. With the help of copper, aluminum and iron, we can able to make many things. With the help of iron, we can make iron rods, bureaus, chairs, cots, everything we can able to make. And the help of gold, we can make ornaments. By using silver also we can make utensils and also jewels, ornaments. Aluminium, we can able to make utensils and fossil fires, everything. So material is nothing but by using a material we can use to make and the new thing. All those things comes in material. Gold, iron, silver, air, sand. Air and sand are the materials of nature. So all those things comes under material noun. Let us see few examples of material noun from nature. And what are the materials we get from animals? What are the materials we get from plants? And what are the materials we get from what are the man-made materials? So material nouns of nature: air, water, gold, and sunlight. And the materials we get from animals: egg, meat, honey, and wool. Materials we get from plants: cotton, oil, food, and perfume. And materials that which was made by human: cement. By using cement we can able to build many buildings. Butter. With the help of butter we can make ghee. Acid, we are using acid for toilet cleaners, dishwashers, etc. Clothes, with the help of cotton we can make clothes to wear. So all those things comes under material noun. Abstract noun. What is abstract noun? A proper noun, common noun, cultural material noun. So these four things we can able to perceive this with any one of our five senses. But abstract noun is quite different from all four kinds of noun. So we can't able to attach see the abstract noun. So we can't able to perceive it with our five sense is abstract noun. Can we able to see how honor would be, how the help would be? So we can't able to see those things. So those things comes under abstract noun. So let us see what is abstract noun. So abstract noun, it refers to a intangible things. So intangible thing, that means that we can't able to perceive with our five sense. We can only able to feel it. It is speaks about the feelings, ideas, or qualities of a person. So here I have given few examples of quality and the few examples for which refers state and which refers action. So quality, cleverness, kindness, wisdom. One can't able to give or show the picture of the cleverness, kindness, and wisdom. And also we can't able to show the picture of the poverty would be like this, the youth would be like this. So, but we can able to feel about that poverty and youth, but we can't able to see. We can't able to give structure to the youth. The youth must be look like this. The poverty must be like this. We can't able to show the poverty. And action, laughter, revenge, movement. So we can feel it, we can do it, but we can't able to give this is the laughter. The laughter would be like this. So these are the things which comes under abstract noun. Okay, let us brush up what is proper noun, what is common noun, what is collective noun, and what is countable, uncountable nouns, and what is abstract noun. So the proper noun is nothing but it always used to refer the particular name of a person. Particular name of a person is proper noun. Common noun is the name given in common. Collective, it represents a group of people, animal, or thing. Countable, we can able to count. Uncountable, we can't able to count. It comes under a sand. We can't able to count how many salt particles in sand, how many sand particles in sand. We can't able to count the rice. We can't able to count sugar. All those things comes under uncountable noun. So countable means we can able to count how many number of students in the class. How many coins do we have? We can able to count it. Singular and plurals. So car, it is a single. It represents one car. Cars, it is plural. So these nouns, proper noun, common noun, collective noun, uncountable noun, countable noun, singular and plurals, all these comes under concrete nouns. Concrete noun is nothing but we can able to identify it with any one of our five senses. So abstract noun, as I said already, it is quite different. We can't able to perceive it with our five senses. We can only feel it. Thank you for watching my channel. So please don't forget to subscribe.